Welcome to the RebelRed channel, guys. The channel which shares the most relevant tips and tricks on how to win at Risk, and improve your rank in no time. Subscribe to the channel and you won't even see how fast you will become so much better at Risk. Push that notification bell to see new videos first. This is your host champion ever. And today I'm going to show you how to get very fast and easy wins playing on the France map. It should help you highly increase your rank once you understand how to properly play it. And to be honest, it's relatively easy to master it. There are simple fundamentals which shouldn't be hard to understand. So first of all, the game mode which you should choose for this map is 70% Domination, which I consider it to be a forgotten gem in the Risk community which hasn't really been appreciated, as if we use filter to see how many of those games are being hosted in public lobbies at any given time, we will see that there are basically none. Anyways, for those who don't know, the main goal in the 70% Domination is to capture 70% territories of the whole map, like you could have guessed from its name. So yeah, meaning that in order to win you don't necessarily have to take any of the opponents out. The 70% of the territories is your main goal, and in order to find out what number it makes, you need the total number of the territories to multiply by 0.7, however you need to have in mind any fraction, as you cannot capture like a territory and a half, or like a third. So on the France map there are 26 territories in total, and multiplying it by 0.7 we get 18.2, and even though it's a small fraction, we still need to consider it as one more territory, since you cannot capture only a fifth of territory, you can only capture the territories fully. So in order to make it over 70% we need to capture 19 territories on the France map in order to win. Or to make it simpler, all of them except 7 of your choice. So anyways, when it comes to other settings I like to choose fixed cards, alliances on, balanced blitz dice rolls, and 60 seconds per turn. Fixed cards because the game wouldn't be immediately over with someone trading in a set, like it could happen with progressive cards with someone getting a bigger set when the value becomes relatively high. Alliances on because you would be able to successfully capture and hold your region. Low rank players really like to attack others into other regions, so they would be the only ones who get to hold them, so by making the alliances with them you just prevent yourself of foolishly getting invaded by someone. Balanced blitz dice rolls because you would more or less know what outcome to expect from your blitz rolls, that it wouldn't be any unfortunate surprises which could happen playing with true random dice odds. And 60 seconds because your opponents would have to plan ahead if they don't want to miss any opportunities to win, that you would have the advantage against the players who think what to do only when their turns come, and slow players in general. So not to be a slow player, turn the camera animations off in the settings. So anyways, what you need to do is to seek getting a region. It could be any of them, it doesn't really that much matter, but of course you want to get the one which gives more troops if possible. As you can see in this game I was very fortunate to get the most valuable one. Then another important thing could be to make the alliances with everyone, so they wouldn't invade you into your region. You will basically almost never have to invade them into their regions, up until the last turn in which you will go all in of capturing 70% territories of the map, so you can't really make the alliances with absolutely everyone. And then you just wait for a moment in which you would be able to capture 70% territories of the map by completely destroying yourself. As again, the 70% of the territories is all you need, it's a winning condition. So like right now I noticed that I am able to capture 19 territories, so without waiting any further I will immediately go on completely self-destroying myself in order to achieve that goal. To be honest, I could have already achieved it in the last turn, but I missed that opportunity. So always make sure to plan ahead. By the way, those games I'm showing in this video is being played with my subscribers, meaning that it should be even easier for you to win playing in the public lobbies with randoms. In this game the blue and black players were grandmasters, and the pink player was a beginner. So in this next game, which is being played with 2 grandmasters as well who are the pink and green players, and 1 beginner rank player too which is blue, I will try to repeat the success using the same strategy again. So first of all, if you get a good setup, it could be good to capture any region for yourself while at the same time preventing other players from capturing regions. Well, To be exact, in this case what I mean is that you shouldn't be in a rush to move out your troops from other players' regions, so unless if you obviously see that your troops are going to get crushed. But yeah, like you see, I captured the bottom left region without moving any of my troops out from the center region. Now I'm going to move out one of the armies from it, but only one of them, the smaller one obviously, so the player who wants to capture the center region would have to wait for one more turn. I could obviously use these 3 center troops to attack the territory in the top right region, then moving out the 4 center troops to my captured region. But my plan is that other players would be delayed from capturing regions at least for a short amount of time, so I captured the pink player's top left territory instead, only moving out these 4 troops in my next turn. Also, what you saw I did in the last game is I went for the center region, preventing the purple player going from it. So with him being my ally, he would move out his troops letting me capture it. I would be the strongest player who has the advantage, with all other players struggling to capture a region for themselves. Well, to be honest, playing in the public lobbies it might be risky to do so just really see if another region clearly belongs to another player, and if so, then just move your troops out, and especially if you see that that player is a low-ranked player judging from his stats, and if you don't have the alliance with him. But the good thing in the public lobbies is that your opponents could destroy a lot of each other troops for no good reason, especially if your opponents are low-ranked ones, so by not making any meaningless attacks you should be able to get a good advantage against them. So just make sure to make the alliances with all of your opponents, so they would be targeting each other while leaving you and your troops alone. As you can see, this strategy is kinda working in this game as well. My opponents haven't crushed that many troops of each other like it could happen in public lobbies, but they still crushed some. Well, not totally sure. The pink player maybe saw the blue player as the biggest threat, and the blue player obviously wanted to capture a region for himself, but in case the green player had had an alliance with the blue player, then I assume the blue player would have let the green player move his troops out instead of crushing them. Anyways, I noticed that it's the moment again in which I could win the game, capturing 19 territories by completely destroying myself as long as the blitz rolls don't fail me. So I'm going for it. Otherwise another player could have won with me missing the opportunity. Moving on to the next game, I play with 2 Grandmaster rank players who are white and green, and 1 beginner rank player who is blue. The blue and green players have already played with me in the first and second game respectively, so they should be much more aware of the strategy now. They got another chance to prove themselves. And the white player is a very experienced player in general. You might recognize him from the Kill Pete strategy channel on YouTube. And as far as I know, he has experience with a 70% domination playing in the tournaments, though I believe the France map wasn't one of them. But I mean, knowing the fundamentals, you can apply your experience and strategy you learned playing on the other maps as well. So yeah, taking everything I said into the account, this game should be much harder to win than the last ones. I guess the blue and green players wouldn't like for me to beat them so easily once again. Like for example that the green player is much more aggressive right now. In the last game he wasn't in a rush to capture a region, and at the end with everyone moving the troops out he even hesitated of capturing it. But this time he immediately got a region for himself without hesitating to wipe out the troops of other players at all. And differently than the last time, assuming he doesn't get invaded, he should be the strongest player in this game, with the center region being the most valuable. So I assume the green player is really determined to win this game. I'm sorry, but I need to attack your territory, the blue player says, and proceeds to invade me into my region. I thought we were allies. You drastically hurt my feelings. You have just sent me the attack request to attack the white player, but instead of him you're attacking me. Well, maybe the blue player has an alliance with everyone like me, and I mean everyone makes the moves which they think are the best for the game and themselves, so if the blue player thinks that it favors the game or himself, then it's fine. And I mean, that was my own fault of not really guarding against him. I mostly paid the attention of adding the majority of my troops to one big army, so it would be easier for me to capture 19 territories when the right time comes, but that probably wasn't a great choice, as not only I have to prepare myself for that, but also I have to make sure that my opponents wouldn't be able to capture my territories easily as well, as if I leave my borders unguarded, then my opponents could really easily capture the territories of my continent when they will go to capture the 19 territories in a single turn. So I wouldn't like to give an easy victory for someone. But alright, it seems we're good with the blue player again. So as a good ally he is appreciated by me once again, so as long as he doesn't decide to invade me once again. And yeah, it seems he is manual rolling the green player. What I really like that he changed his target from me to green. But on the other hand he is really ruining the game for himself and the green player, highly increasing mine and the white player's chances to win. The thing is that it's not a simple fixed card game in which it could be very good to have a mutually beneficial alliance with someone else and weaken other players so you both would guarantee the best chances to win. It's the fixed card game with the 70% domination game mode, in which you should really not waste any troops, you should hoard them so you would be able to properly guard your regions, so nobody would get to capture your territories easily, and then also you should save your troops that you would be able to go all in on fully self-destroying yourself when the opportunity comes to finish capturing 19 territories in a single turn. So the exception could be when you see that your opponent could be very close to capturing those 19 territories. So then of course you wouldn't like that he would win easily, so then you could consider weakening him or crushing some of his troops. So this is why I crushed these 5 troops of the white player in the top left region, properly guarding both of the territories and then fortifying 3 troops to the territory next to them as well. But the unfortunate thing is that when I made 3 territories to be harder capturable, the blue player has given an easy access to even 5 of them, or actually even 7, because with him not having any troops on my border, the white player could easily break through my border as well. So this is why I sent the crying emoji, as unless the green player comes up with something good, the white player is going to win this game. But yeah, the green player didn't make the things any better, so I just have nothing better to do but just laugh with the white player winning this game so easily, as all the white player need to do is to capture all the territories made of ones with additionally breaking through my 4 troops border, or instead of my regional territories he could just crush 2 territories of mine on the top left region with him having and adding a lot of troops near. But alright, the white player misses the opportunity to win, so maybe the game hasn't been lost for me yet, even though I cannot capture 19 territories by myself and the white player is going to trade in a set next turn having 5 cards and besides that is holding 2 regions as well. So in this turn I was wondering how to move and fortify my troops in the way to make it harder for the white player to capture 19 territories, but at the same time that I would get a better opportunity to do it as well. And this is what I came up with. I mean the blue and green players are probably going to place their armies to some other places as well, but at least I think it shouldn't be as bad as in the last turn. And when I sent those emojis, that probably didn't make it obvious for my opponents that the game was given away for white, they most likely thought that I meant something else. But I mean I didn't really want to make it super obvious by saying good game, as by saying that you indicate that you think that your opponent could immediately win, and you can never know if your opponent actually saw that opportunity, so I would say it's better not to say it, as your opponent could miss it. So unless if it's really clear, the white player could still win it if he got good blitz rolls. But alright, he stopped capturing the territories, so that's a big relief. I finally got an opportunity as well, so I will definitely go for it. I do have a 10 troop set which gives me 100% chance to win this game, but I mean even without having a set I assume I would have won the game as well. And this is how you win at 70% domination game mode playing on the France map, and if you applied this strategy in the public lobbies, then I think you could increase your rank by a lot.